to most of you, and his larrikin approach often belies a more serious engagement with whichever tradition he chooses to engage with. So it'll be interesting to see what he brings to this tradition from his native England. Dark Side Morris, alias the Ragged Band, are a Brisbane-based group. They've been together for 4 years, and they've done a couple of fire events at Woodford, and they are from the Border Morris tradition and describe themselves as being of the stick-whacking, pagan, unhinged variety of Morris men. Mummers plays are an ancient English tradition usually associated with Morris dancing because, of course, you had to find people to perform them. In some towns, mummers plays take the form of a house invasion, in which the local players selected houses in the village in which to perform, I kid you not. Sensible mummers, if there is such a thing, perform in alehouses, as the drinks there are much better. And no doubt they would perform in wine or whisky houses, if such were available. Mummers plays take a classic form, so at the risk of spoiling the plot for you, there is St. George, the true knight of England. There is the Turkish knight, and the two are engaged in mortal combat, and the Turkish knight slays St. George. A doctor of physic is called for who magically cures St. George, and St. George then defeats the Turkish knight. These plays demonstrated to the English people that England did, in fact, win the Crusades for hundreds of years after they lost them.
It was the French.
It was indeed the French. Pardon moi. Mummers plays are a living tradition and are filled today with the same sort of propaganda as they were in the past. And as part of that tradition, they are performed in rhyme.
Ladies and gentlemen, quiet please, at once. Fresh from a season of Damlet, Prince of Denmark, and famous for their version of Romeo and Juliet with Cupid's stunts, I present a fine tale to keep you in the dark. Ladies and gentlemen, today it is my pleasure to introduce the Markside Doris as they enact to you a plumber's maid.
Stop! Oh, hang on.
Feedback.
Hang a minute. Whose idea was it to hire a dyslexic narrator?
I'm sorry, it was mine. I'm sorry and begging your pardon. At the time, he seemed perfectly fine. And Martin said and everyone said Martin was funny to boot, and that his frack to bun was a hoot.
Well, can he be cured?
He's already fairly pickled.
Peasants! Is there a doctor in the house?
Here, I'm a doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Dr. Gore.
Really, Al?
Exactly. Hardly a name to inspire confidence. But can he be cured?
He's a doctor, and thus a pretty fart smeller. With a bill the size of a pelican, I tell ya.
His condition is complex, serious, prescribed. It's because of the claret he's clearly imbibed. But I have in my medications just what he needs. With a bill, of course. My professional fees.
A grape?
This is no ordinary grape. This is reverse claret.
Claret?
Yes, claret is made of grapes mixed together and drink just enough to be under the weather. This grape is remade from the finest of clarets, and if taken you find yourself sober as parrots. So where once he spoke with sympathetic disparity, reverse claret will restore his usual clarity.
Oh. Ugh.
Where am I?
Oh. Ooh. Ooh. It's been so long. Ah, that's better. A number of inhabitants of a small blue planet are concerned that carbon-based energy forms are creating an atmospheric feedback which cannot be left to heat the planet beyond all the norms. Most of their scientific minds urge action, with the exception of an idiot few, to move away from what they call a carbon distraction to a world run on sunshine and strong wind and poo. In a small and insignificant village which produces not much of the carbon or smoke, 3 peasants are furiously debating the situation that faces good, green, caring folk.
Has anyone considered the reduced albedo effect of less ice and snow?
Yes, I got a note of that from methane release from melted permafrost.
So, if the Gulf Stream stops, then what's the go?
I don't know.
Increased snow and ice over Europe, but at the likely cost of much of it becoming uninhabitable. Millions of people displaced to lands more arable. Copenhagen will flood if it's not frozen solid, one already has. Taking Denmark and Belgium and all of Holland.
A disaster, in short, of epic proportions.
Yes.
The world as we know it will just go to hell. We'll see cultures lost, demographic distortions.
Will be stuffed for sure, and then roasted as well.
Is there nobody that can help us?
Enter St. George, a knight of old England with incredulous Patsy, his trusty page, boy. Together they promise to forever defend the Empire from schemers and plotters and ploys.
Patsy, my town, if you please, and a drink won't be missed. It's hard work, you know, riding the breadth of the land, rescuing maidens, kittens, fighting injustice. We've come on a village. Is this what we planned?
The village is called Woodford, my lord, and everyone here is probably pissed. So you'll be welcome your sword and great valour. Yes, missed.
You're right, you know. Oh, hey, you there. What village is this? I need a rest for my page. And a nice pint of ale.
It's the village of Woodford, and you've come at a time when your sword and your...
Time? Did somebody mention time? For I am he and that there's right. For I am time and I'm running late, see, but I'll be back if you mention me.
What?
It's the village of Woodford, and you've come at a time when your sword and your valour and inclination to rhyme would be welcome to abide in our fair tent city and help with a problem that doesn't look pretty.
Tell me what concerns thee. I'm sure I can help. Just tell me your name and sit on my knee.
The problem is that the Earth's getting hotter, and this Elizabeth of England, she won't sit on your trotter.
Too bloody right.
She's a greenie, hooray! And what's more, a greenie and a leader?
Yes.
Hooray!
Hooray!
Yes, hooray! Who guides men and women, teenagers and tweenies.
I'm Bartholomew, a peasant from the same village who will faithfully follow Elizabeth our sage in a fight to save what is good, what we need, from a world full of pollution and profit and greed.
I'm good in a fight. I've had plenty of them. So tell me about this global hotting problem.
Well, first, there was coal.
Yes, first there was coal. Old King Coal, with his smoke as dark as a Turkish night. History recalls his less merry role, powering Europe's wars of industrial might. In English folk music, coal has a mixed history. The mines cursed for the blood in their profit, but the unions fought for them is a strange mystery, after Thatcher told them to stop it. Coal Coal power generation accounts for 40% of the carbon dioxide we're making. But if the old king looks smug and content, it's 'cause pollution's not a cost in his takings.
It's a fine industry, an important industry, and essential to our standard of living. Think of the money we're bringing to Queensland, and not the cash the politicians we're giving.
There was oil.
Then there was oil. Big oil, black oil, BP, Exxon, Shell. This is an industry that's not very old, but driving cars, it's grown very well. Or perhaps the cars are driven by it. Either way, it's exhausting stuff. Transport is 20% of the shit that we dump in the air up above.
Black oil is an industry started in Texas, but it's become quite refined ever since. It's a terrible blow to the Yanks' solar plexus that the Arabs have become the Black Prince. There's demand for every drop we can drill, and at business we've become very sleek. Our revenues are riches, our lifestyle a dill. We've made the Middle East quite chic.
And don't forget Missy Moo.
Meet the most memorable Missy Moo, a ruminant mass of methane. Her gases rival the Parliament to produce so much hot air in vain.
I just wanted to say hello. It's utterly wonderful to be here. They say that my burps and the ones down below are making the ice caps disappear. So, let's dance.
It's a Morris dance. We're going to hell in a handbasket, it's so obvious, it's so true. Going to hell in a handbasket, there is nothing we can do. It's time to give up on this lonely planet, too many people, most of them bad. If you believe what you read in the paper, we'll soon self-destruct and it's time that we had. We're going to hell in a handbasket, it's so obvious, it's so true. Going to hell in a handbasket, there is nothing we can do. My boss isn't that much of a manager, he doesn't make me happy at work. What do you mean I could instigate changes? Your optimism is running berserk. We're going to hell in a handbasket, it's so obvious, it's so true. Going to hell in a handbasket, there is nothing we can do. A shadowy secret of administration is running the world, run by people called them. They are ubiquitous forces of darkness, sadistic, cold-hearted, probably men. We're going to hell in a handbasket, it's so obvious, it's so true. Going to hell in a handbasket, there is nothing we can do. The Catholics spread guilt, the Protestants shame, the Jews are playing some underhand game. We don't know what Buddhists are doing for sure, but whatever it is, they should do it no more. We're going to hell in a handbasket, it's so obvious, it's so true. Going to hell in a handbasket, there is nothing we can do. The government don't and the media can't, society won't, the Americans aren't. Relationships could if communities will, but we can't make it good, we can't find the right fit. We're going to hell in a handbasket, it's so obvious, it's so true. Going to hell in a handbasket, there is nothing we can do. I suspect every generation has had its head shakers the energy's wasted on whinging and lavished on food. We're going to hell in a handbasket, it's so obvious, it's so true. Going to hell in a handbasket, there is nothing we can do. We're going to hell in a handbasket, it's so obvious, it's so true. Going to hell in a handbasket, there is nothing we can do.
Jolly good. Well done. Well done, methinks. That was fantastic. Patsy, my boy. Nice round of drinks. This is the way to do it.
Yes, very nice. Well done, Dominic.
Yes, that's what Copenhagen was like.
What's going on? Are you just drinking or are you in a play? Don't answer that.
Well, don't just sit there, stand there and sit there as well. We thought you were some kind of hero. The planet is threatened by their baddies over there, their pollution and stink. We thought you were some kind of hero as well, and your contribution is 0.
That's a bit harsh.
It is.
Well, what do you want me to do? I thought you sorted it out amongst you with all that singing and dancing.
No. You're the goodie.
They are the cause of our terrible threat. They are the axis of evil. Get rid of them and we'll be in your debt, and the planet will face less upheaval.
Axis? What axis? Old King Cole, they say you're to blame with your greed and unsightly pollution. So I'll just remove you from the game as part of the solution. Yay!
It's not me that wants a large plasma telly and a 2-garage, 4-bedroom modcon's house and all the food from around the world in your belly and an iPhone and all that muck. I just make the power to meet your consumption, to match your demands to consume. We're a responsible industry, so give me up this doom and gloom. I got a bit on this guy.
And Dark Prince, in this you have a hand. 1 billion cars a day spewing out their emissions, and all you do is put your head in the sand.
Look at your audience.
2-0.
Look at your audience. How did they get here? By bicycle? No. They used their brain. They came... Shut up, you. They came by car, or by plane, or by truck. You expecting them to catch a train?
Hi, Dad.
The thing about oil is it keeps people moving. And the world has become a small place. And the speed of everything is so much improving. It's truly the human race.
Go get him. Go get him.
Get it?
And you, Missy Moo, in this you have a hand. Or a hoof. Or 4 stomachs. That just seems wrong. Hamburgers led to a swathe of land clearing, and your stomach made some dangerous gas mix.
Come in with your others.
You need me, and just say please, or I'll turn you vegetarian.
That's right.
They saw 80 million bison departed. And I'm sure, just like you, they belch with their mates. Ate grass, drank beer, and ate more grass. So I really don't see what's the big difference now, since there's 80 million cows to go moo. If greenhouse can't be solved by much less cow, then it can probably be solved by much less of you.
Oh my God! They've killed Kenny! I mean, St. George, you bastards!
Oh, yes.
Oh, help him, Dr. Gore, please do. We've run out of heroes. Dr. Gore, what are you doing?
I'm giving him a PowerPoint.
You can't heal a man with PowerPoint!
It's made by Microsoft! It's an inconvenient truth that his brain inflammation is caused by a battering of false information. Someone knocked in his head the denialist claim that it's not really happening, or that no one's to blame. Yes, perhaps they think it's human nature, or it's just stuff we need, when in fact it's driven by big money and greed.
Yeah. Just click slideshow.
I can show you that there's power with tiny emissions, green jobs, with good pay and excellent conditions. There's no argument now of the science of pollution. We need some discussion of a world solution.
Yeah.
Most people Most people feel there's nothing they can do and that we now face our darkest hour.
It's only a flesh wound.
But there comes a time when you realise your leaders are elected by you. And at that point people realise they have power. PowerPoint.
All right, we'll call it a draw.
You've done it, Doctor. You're right there, St. George. It's a bit possible, wasn't it? You've saved him!
Global warming, 385,000 parts per million. Sequestration not viable. 400 parts per million carbon. Worsening droughts, wildfires. 440 parts per million carbon. Bushfires and hurricane increase. 480 parts per million. Coastal flooding. Ice caps melting. It's time to stop.
Your hero now stands proud and tall.
Thank you, Dr. Gore. Oh, thank you.
Proud and tall. Well, my card, Elizabeth.
Oh, call me Betty.
Miracles, distractions, redemption, just call.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Gore.
Call. And when you call me, you can call me out.
It's like Excalibur, I tell you. Hooray! Now, King Cole, they say you're to blame with your greed and unsightly pollution. I'll just take you out of the game.
We've seen this.
There's nowhere to hide.
Come on, George. You can do it. Come on. Come on, Georgie. Come on. George.
You can't touch me. I'm emissions trading. It's the new CPRS. It's a government scheme to persuade you to clear out my mess.
Cut through the red tape.
Your CPRS is CRAP. Do nothing to stop the emissions. It's like smoking in a bar that's smoke-free and paying the pub for permissions.
In fact, with Rod's proposed ETS, if you're heavily into smoking, the government will pay the bar for your butts and you can trade smoke. I'm not joking.
Emissions trading is legalised cheating. It'll do nothing to save the planet. Burning coal is something we cannot do.
Yeah, go on. Kill him! Finish him up! Go, George! Hey!
A new Dark Prince.
Here you go. Come on, George. Come on.
It's time that you went. Your lack of concern for the earth. Your time has come.
Let go of your stick and run.
I shall sequester my carbon deep under my deserts.
What about the Brits?
Your government is my major investor, and they don't seem to care if it works.
I'll keep him talking, you'll have a heart attack.
Come on, Georgie, make it 2 out of 3.
Okay.
Go on, get him.
You think we all lost one
But wait, George.
Carbon capture is some kind of dream that will never be a reality. The only sequestration scheme at this time is a tree. Not you again.
And they all say it's time to act. And that's what we're doing in a play, in fact.
But wait, Big Oil. There is another way. You can still be the energy suppliers. Just use all that sun in an Arabian day and go solar and get lots of buyers. Invest your riches in solar research and develop a decent battery. You'll be praised for saving the earth, and that means money, not flattery.
This could be the start of a beautiful friendship.
And you, Missy Moo, you must change too. But there's nothing I'd change about you. Still, eating grass instead of grain makes cows' footprints fit into much smaller shoes.
Oh dear Sir Knight, how well you woo. And so good to mention my shoes, they're leather.
That's it.
And if you're into harness and yokes and whips too, maybe we can go off together.
Right?
I feel a great gathering of storm. It's finale time.
Finally.
Finally done.
Back to the rounds.
We burn the forests and kill the trees, change the weather as much as we please, pump our effluent into the seas, there's no more world to live in. We fill the valleys and level the mounds, search the earth for miles around, all for the sake of a couple of pounds, there's no more world to live in. Life began in the ocean too, it's ending here with me and you, whales and elephants, tigers too, we flush their lines right down the loo, hotter than a house of glass, water levels are rising fast, all because of the greenhouse gas, there's no more world to live in. time to travel so far, but we'll have a world to live in. We've been busy since time began. We haven't time to follow the plan. Give some money to those who can. We'll have a world to live in. The earth has paid a heavy old price. Now it's time for our sacrifice. Won't be fun and it won't be nice. You should listen to my advice. Plant some forest and grow some trees. We haven't time to take our ease. Don't forget to clean the seas and we'll have a world to live in. Bye.
Oh, Popeye.
Sacrifice. It won't be fun and it won't be nice, but you should listen to my advice. Plant some forest and grow some trees. We haven't time to take our ease. Don't forget to clean the seas and we'll have a world to live in. Yay! Will you please thank the dark side for us?
Sucker for punishment.
She's been paid off.
Ladies and gentlemen, please thank Darkside Morris and Martin Pearson for the English Mama's Ritual. And there'll be a little bit of a break now, and then in a short while we'll be back with some more fantastic music and dance with Electro Latino. And those of you who have been around and are familiar with the programme, there's going to be a wonderful Sacred New Year programme tonight. So please stay with us, and when they reconfigure the stage, we'll be back with you with some wonderful sacred music from around the world. Thank you very much.
I do.